Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. What's it feel like to live in the Truman Show? How are you guys doing out there? Are you enjoying this? Are you enjoying the Truman Show as much as I am? Are you getting your popcorn out? You should. I've been saying it for a while now. Good gracious. It's a gift that keeps giving. You just gotta take it in stride. You really do. And just be blessed. Be blessed for every minute of the day, every obstacle of the day, every illusion of the day, every tactic, whatever you find in your world, it's all set for you for a strategic purpose, for you to grow and elevate within that moment. Find humility, find humbleness within it, sit in it, sit in your feelings, sit in your emotions, but don't carry the victim mentality. So many times people get in the victim mentality, you got to let that go. You got to let go of the victim mentality. You got to take things on the chin. You got to get thicker skin, and you got to quit living in the past, because the past is in the past, but there's a part you play in your past. So many times people want to point the finger. So annoying to me. I see it so much on my algorithms. I see it just so much in everything right now. Everything. Whether it be in movies, the entertainment biz, the songs coming out, the Charlie Kirk case, the Epstein file. I mean, it's ridiculous. It's so strategically warped within the system and humanity to just keep people stagnant, to keep people fixated on negativity. Instead of learning from certain things in certain areas, whether it be, the system, the institutions, like there's so much we can be learning right now. Obviously, it's blatantly in our face, but we're choosing not to learn because we're fixated on constantly talking about the same freaking things instead of learning from our mistakes. Something that's come to me very, very prevalently in the last 24 hours, and it will not leave my head. And I'm like, golly, there's got to be something in this message. I don't know why we landed where we're at, where we live in a world now where we put people on these invisible pedestals in these ivory towers, like their word is the end all be all, and what they say goes, and what they say is true and correct. It's like, because we've placed them in this placeholder in our life, whoever that may be, right? But they're sitting in an ivory tower. They're sitting cushioned. They're sitting merry, They're not battling the same battle bruises you're battling in the day-to-day, based off the economy, based off what we go through in the work environments, based off just the regularities of just life right now, and the grossness in which people are just scrambling. Whether it be seeds they sowed, dirty secrets they walk with, an understanding within certain circumstances or situations within their path, within their walk. And it's like, we find ourselves, and I just see it so prevalently. And the days of me putting anyone on an ivory tower or a freaking invisible podium have come and gone. Quite frankly, the only being that should be on an ivory tower or a podium is God, the Holy Spirit, the Christ conscience, the higher power, the Christ conscience that resides in you. Nobody is supposed to have that spot, but yet we live in a world where we put so many people on these ivory towers, and we just allow them to dictate our life and dictate how we feel and dictate things that we think we know because they say we know it, or because they say they know it because they know it. We think we know it because they know it. And it's like, what the heck? There's so many they, them, but you're not focused on you. You're not focused on you. You're not focused on how you feel. You're not focused on your goals, your aspirations, your dreams. You're not focused on recognizing your testimony, what you've walked through, what you walk through every single day, and what you need to do to elevate, to get yourself out of the circumstances that you're currently in, because you're too fixated putting people on a podium that are already in an ivory tower telling you what you should and shouldn't be doing. It's like, we have to recognize that we live in a world now where there's just a different caliber of people. a different caliber of people. And there's nothing wrong with where they're at in the position of the world. They worked hard with where they're at. They deserve to be there, right? But if you find yourself where you want to be in a position of life where you don't have to worry about the things that you worry about. You don't have to worry about, how you won't pay your rent, how you're going to pay your bills, how you're going to feed your babies, can you even afford medical insurance, all of these different things. I can tell you right now, being obsessed or fixated and taking your end-all be-alls from people already sitting on that type of podium is not going to get you there. It's not going to get you there. It's not. Take this from a piece of advice. As soon as I started removing people from the invisible podium that were already sitting in ivory towers in my world, that I placed them there because I was broken and I thought they were the end all be all. I took them at face value. I take everybody at face value. I still do to this day, and I got no judgment here. I do not care. But as soon as I started removing that false lens, because it really is just a false lens, things just kind of started changing for me. Inevitably, because all that energy, all that intention, all that thought, all that processing that exerts from you, you're not putting that in yourself. And it's when you put all that energy that you fixate on exterior things from you start putting it in yourself, it's literally you just start see every day it gets easier and easier. It gets easier. Now it's going to take time. You got to be gracious with yourself. You got to show mercy to yourself. You got to forgive yourself. You got to forgive others too. And you also have to understand the part you play in it. So you can grow and elevate. Until people get to a place of recognizing, being able to accept accountability within their actions, within the words that they say, what they pour out into this world, it's going to be remaining on a vicious circle. It just is. On my way home from work today, so often enough, I don't even need people to tell me certain things. I already know it intuitively because I listen. I read their energy. I read the words that are coming out of their mouth, whether that's on screens, whether that's on news outlets, whether that's on podcasts, whether that's in my personal, physical. I listen to what people say, and I allow it to gauge that. People can say one thing, but totally be meaning another thing. You got to make sure that what they say aligns with their actions. And you intuitively know that. You can read that within yourself, especially when you're one with yourself. You get intuitive hits within yourself. Things that don't make you feel great. Things that make you feel great. Things that make you feel like, oh, I don't know what's going on here, but I don't like the way it's making me feel. But we so often enough, we keep that bottled in. Because we've been conditioned to be people pleasers. We've been conditioned to put people on ivory towers. We've been conditioned to not focus on ourselves, but focus on everything outside of ourselves. And these are messages. The reason why I have so many different things when it comes to censorship, when it comes to people siphoning, when it comes to people piggybacking on my story, all this nonsense, that's so evident. I'm well aware. There's a messaging that I carry that obviously is not wanted in the world because it would help the world elevate to a better place. It would help humanity be better. And when humanity grows and evolves and people start losing places in other people's life as an ivory tower, what does that mean for them? What does that mean for them and their lifestyle? It changes a bit, doesn't it? It does. And so I get that. But this is where that full circle, this is where the veils start removing. This is where you start seeing people's true colors. This is where you start seeing if people are truly moving in their ego or humility, or if they're truly Christian, or if they're truly faithful. This is where you start seeing by their actions. If they're fixated on being an ivory tower, or are they fixated on being a true Christian? Are they fixated on the presence of whatever it is they think they're pouring out in this world? Or are they actually fixated on pouring out a great nature within this world to elevate humanity to be a better place for their generations to come? Are they moving in their ego? Or are they moving in a righteous way of their sovereignty, knowing when the world elevates, I elevate with the world? Everything's so tunnel vision. Everybody's so me or my. You got to remove that. We are one. You grow, I grow. I grow, you grow. You're in my energy, it operates in that. Because that's what I choose to operate in. Now I understand the world doesn't operate in that, and I don't expect the world. But for me, I found what is a secret sauce for me, and so I move and operate